Today, I want to share two stories. One, like a personal story about journeying and destination, and then another one about entrepreneurship. Really clarifying and just exploring that should you have a journey focus or a destination focus. Hello, Dale Majors here, and if you're new to the channel and you like it, you'll want to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm creating content every day to help people get more of what they want in life. So today we're going to talk about destination versus a journey mindset. And I've got two examples to share. So first off, maybe more of a personal example. I've done a lot of bike touring. My first bike tour was from Canada to Mexico. My first big bike tour was. And I remember that, when we were at the border in Canada, we had 2,000 miles to go basically. And as we're riding down, we had a few opportunities to take side trips, whether it was deeper into the redwoods or different trails or things. And I remember as young guys, 21-year-olds, we were pretty focused on how many miles we did each day because we wanted to get closer to the end point. And we had some schedule flexibility too, but we just really got caught up in this destination mindset where, so we didn't really smell the roses as much as we should have, and we missed out on a few opportunities. Don't get me wrong, it was still an amazing trip, but we were pretty destination focused. So fast forward, I've done lots of bike tours since, and the perspective that it's given me is that I usually don't really enjoy the destination all that much, but where I get most of my satisfaction is just the everyday getting up, putting away your tent, exploring, seeing new things, being with the people that you love or that you like to travel with, eating, dealing with mishaps, and then finding a new place, putting up camp and sleeping. So that's where I really enjoyed. That's what I enjoy out of bike touring. So that since my first trip 15 years ago, now what the bike tours look like is I really just want to put in some good mileage so I can get tired and get a good workout. I want to explore. I want to spend time with the people that I enjoy. I want to do some work. I want to put our camp away. I want to set it up somewhere else. I want to navigate. I want to see new things. And so even if that means that we have to go 1,000 miles in front, and today we're only going to move along the path 5 miles, if that means that our 35 miles or 50 miles for that day means that we do a detour and another detour and we backtrack, and that's maybe an extreme example, but if that can also satisfy a great bike touring day. It doesn't matter how far along the route we get. So that's more of a personal anecdote, and it all kind of relates and correlates with when I sold my company. I got to the end of the line, I reached all my goals, and I realized, wow, this is cool and this is great, but I really just enjoyed running a company, so it took me about 1.5 years to find some purpose again. So building my company Bike Wagon, it was all about the journey too. So another business example, I've got a good friend that is really sharp. He's an amazing entrepreneur. And when we compared results, 5 years ago when I looked at him, I thought, man, maybe he's too scattered. He's focused on all these different businesses. What's going on? But every time I talked to him and would ask his advice or get his perspective, he blew my mind. He was so talented and so good at what he did, but he hadn't made a lot of money yet. So if I were to compare bank accounts, there were plenty of times where my bank account would have won, but I knew and didn't ever doubt for a second that he was a more skillful entrepreneur than me. So he was focused on the process of being an entrepreneur. There's plenty of entrepreneurs that I find and I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, right? And there are plenty that are a lot better than me that haven't had as much success as I have. And there are also plenty that I wouldn't think are as good or as skilled at me at running companies, but that have had more success financially, right? So I like to focus in entrepreneurship on the blocking and tackling and the basics of being an entrepreneur and being a business person, and separating myself from those results. So making it more of like a journey of, I'm an entrepreneur, I network, I turn, I'm an alchemist, I turn, raw materials into gold, I turn iron into gold. I see things and I make them worth more. That's just what I do. So I network, I manage my time, I stay fit and I stay sharp, I go to activities, I read, I learn, and I actually have a personal, an acronym for me called LANE, where I leverage the efforts of others, I activate the potential in others, I network and connect, and then I experience and I educate myself. So that's my journey. I do all those things aggressively with purpose, and I know that they will help propel me to business success in the future. So I'm not so focused on some far out destination. I can be happy today as long as I'm just doing those things that I've agreed to do as an entrepreneur. So my friend has since, like I said, 5 years ago, I was probably ahead of him in the money race. Man, he's had so much success lately in the last couple of years, and it's been really cool to see that as you continue to be an entrepreneur and just journey and do your thing, that you will have success. So I've got a couple points. There's a book that I love that talks a bit about this journey mentality. So this called How Will You Measure Your Life? One of my favorite books. He talks about a CEO of Black & Decker. This guy became CEO of Black & Decker when he was like 42 years old, really young. And when he came out of college, he made a decision that he wanted to be a CEO of a big company, and that he would take positions that would give him the experiences that he needed to be the CEO of a large company. That was his goal. He was going to be the CEO. So he basically enlisted in jobs that would give him those experiences. His first job was like on an oil mine, an oil field in Alaska or Canada. And that let him work in a big team, manage people, learn a lot about teamwork. Then he had a lot of other positions, and every position he took would help him gain a skill that he needed to have that role someday as the CEO of a big company. And that happened for him. He became the CEO of Black & Decker. So when you're thinking about bike trips, if the real goal is to just enjoy and love the time with your family, why do we get caught up with, no, we need to ride 1,500 miles? With entrepreneurship and business, if the end goal is to make a certain amount of money, a lot of times that's hard to control. You can't control that completely, but what you can control is how hard you work, how organized you are, what kind of habits you have, how often you network, the different things you do. So I think that's the difference between a destination focus and a journey focus. So decide how your journey should look today, and then be on the journey. And if you live out, and you fulfill and you do what you said you journey how you said you'd journey, then you win. And you're a winner today, even without achieving that end result, because you know that by doing those activities day in, day out, you're going to get that result. So anyways, there it is. I'd love to hear your perspective on journey versus destination and how you think about it. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Man, I feel a bit disingenuous. A lot of times I think social media is kind of the devil, right? So I want you to subscribe to my channel. I probably want you to subscribe from every other notification you get, because most of us are just pulled away from our focus, but that's a whole other deal. So subscribe, like, thank you for being here. I upload videos 5 days a week, and you can watch a few of them here on the channel. So I'll see you on the next video.